Hello, this is my video for the Nightblade Dark Warrior build guide. Uh, the thing is, I basically recently dinged to max. Let me get this up here. I've basically just dinged. As you can see here, I don't have much writing skills, and I don't have much titles. I don't have much PvP rank, like a high PvP rank. My gear is probably some people's gonna think kind of going straight in, kind of going straight into the build guide. But you know, some people think that this here, the equipment bonus, is gonna be like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, I can pretty much 1v2, 1v3, 1v4, and I've never been able to do that on my DK or my sorcerer in PvP. So yeah, this guide is legit. Like this build works, right? Uh, so yeah, we can basically just start here. Actually, I have the Shadow Stone, um, which is gonna increase the critical damage by 13%. I have this buff of food, like that food. I have the Crown Fortifying Meal, just because I'm too lazy to farm the other things. But otherwise, I think everything works just as long as like all of the health, magic, and stamina is increased, because you're really gonna need it. Then I'm mostly going with this, the Alliance Battle Drought. It restores 6k stamina immediately, and it grants Major Endurance, which increases your stamina regeneration by 20%, which is really good, especially for PvP. Uh, Fuck. But yeah, then I have with the buff, like just the food buff, it's almost out. Shit. But yeah, then you can see that I have 32k stamina. Well, 32,464, so almost 32 and a half. And then I have 16k stamina, well, just above 16k stamina, and 14k magicka. In my opinion, that's a lot for having the attributes in here, like nothing in the magicka, right? Magicka recovery should be lower than the health, because the health should be 500 instead. But yeah, my stamina recovery is pretty decent, I think. Like, it's quite normal for freshly linked characters to have like this amount of stamina recovery. Because I basically basically I just rushed the gear on this character. Um, like I like legit just ding this one, and I bought some gear from auction house. With the gear I had in my bag and my bank and everything, and it worked out pretty good. But yeah, as I said, 1400 stamina recovery, and then we have spell damage 1.1k, spell crit 17.9%. I actually don't care about the spell damage and spell crit, like about in this build, because it won't help you that much actually. But the weapon damage and weapon crit, the weapon damage I know for a fact that the weapon damage on this build is quite low, but I don't have, you know, as I said, I don't have the warrior stone, what it's called, that gives you damage, right? Even though this is a Dark Warrior Nightblade build, like my Dark Warrior Nightblade build, I just named it Dark Warrior. Uh, I can guess that you can go with the warrior stone that gives you more weapon damage. But I would go for the critical damage because you're really gonna need it in this build. Because this is a PvP build, right? Not a PvE build. But the weapon crit, uh, very good, 61%. That's acceptable in my opinion. Physical resistance, 14,000k. Spell resistance, 12k off, like, yeah, let's say 13k. And critical resistance, 846. So it's not much, and you are seriously not about to be that guy or girl. I don't know what to say, but you're not about to be that player that's seriously gonna go in, you're gonna tank, and you're gonna, you know, just like I'm gonna catch them all, you know. You're basically gonna go in and go out, right? That's like the main focus with this build. You're gonna go in and you're gonna go out. And yeah, I'm a wood elf. I'm a wood elf. Um, Basically just because they have. Let's get here. They have increased experience with the bow, and as you can see, I have the bow as my first option here. I'm gonna go through the sets after this. Um, I have wood elf just because it's good for the bow leveling, and it decreases the fall damage. That that wood elf decreases the fall damage by 10%. I guess that's good in PvP as well, because sometimes, you know, you even if you're in a Cyrodiil or or Cyrodiil, you fall off some things, you know. So that's quite good, I guess. Uh, Increases your stealth detection radius by 3 meters, and it increases movement speed by 10% and physical and spell penetration by 1500 for 6 seconds after you use roll dodge. This is a thing, like, increases your stealth detection radius. That's nothing, I'm gonna tell you about that later if I remember it. But that whenever we roll dodge, we get increased physical and spell penetration and increased movement speed. That's the thing that I didn't realize after like 2 days playing in a wood wolf. Because I thought, why do I do so much damage after I've been roll dodging? Well, here's the answer. We get Hunter's Eye, right? And it's very good, since we do have this one. Because if you do have a critical strike and you have the passive, right? You deal a lot of damage. Trust me, you deal a lot of damage. I don't know the name of this, but I'm gonna try to spell it out right. Ether's Endurance. Increases your stamina recovery by 258. We're doing a stamina build, like we're playing stamina. It's not bad, it's good. Resist Affliction. Increases your max stamina by 2000 and poison resistance by 2310. Gain immunity to the poison status effect. This is good for PvP. Yeah, I guess this is good for PvE as well. But I would say that this is that increased max stamina is good for both PvE and PvP. But since we do get the poison resistance and immunity to the poison effect, that's good, because that means that the DK will deal a lot. Will deal less damage to us, right? Another Nightblade with poison injection or anything else with disease damage. Wait, I don't actually know if disease damage will be affected by this, but at least the poisons, you know, that you get targeted by, they will deal less damage. You know, they will have a harder time to execute you or a harder time to sustain you with poisons. Um, so let's go for the gear now. Oh fuck yeah, what I say? I forgot this one. Right, so on my front bar I have a bow, and I am going with I can't talk. Relentless Focus and the Grim Focus Morph. Why I have this is because I'm gonna just read what it does. It's build up deadly momentum to gain minor berserk and minor endurance, increasing your damage done by 8% and stamina recovery by 10%. And by the morph I get, while active, hitting an enemy with 5 light or heavy attacks changes this ability into an Assassin's Scourge, allowing you to fire a single shot from a spectral bow for half cast at an enemy to deal 10k disease damage. The thing about this thing is that I rarely use the disease damage bow thing that you can get, like the proc, if that's the right word for it, like the disease proc. But I do always do this. And that's just because if I am going a lot, if I'm going here and I'm almost dead, uh, oh, if I'm here and I'm almost dead, I can go here. And as I said about the spectral bow, I can, well, I haven't gotten a proc now, but then I can proc with a bow, right? So that's really good. Uh, then I have, and you get increased damage done in stamina recovery. I forgot to say that. And poison injection, of course, with the poison arrow morph. This is a classic. Yeah, like I guess some people use both snipe and poison injection, but I mean I prefer poison injection. It's faster to cast. It's like it's an instant. Its cast time is instant. I don't think you deal the same amount of damage, but like PvP is so it's so intense in ESO. So I mean like it doesn't matter. I'm fine with this one. The stamina cost is really low. Um, and it shoots an arrow coated in Bandari poison at an enemy, and it deals 3.3k direct, and an additional 6.5k poison damage for 10 seconds. And the damage over time deals up to 260% more damage to enemies under 50% health. So this is really helpful, because I usually start with the buffs as I just showed you, then I start with a poison injection, and then I'm just gonna, well, tell you all when I'm done with the whole like ability things, uh, how I use the poison injection, and then I'm running shadow image, and yeah, as you can see, I haven't gotten this to the full version yet. I have the morph and I have everything. I'm just gonna like level the last bit. If you think that I'm talking weird, well, that's because I basically just woke up and I haven't had my coffee yet, right? Well, shadow image, it's summon shade morph. This is really good. I would say that this is one of the best abilities for this like survival, because I have a lot. I have like a hard time a lot to s- survive in PvP overall. It's harder in Cyrodiil open world PvP than it's in Battlegrounds. But why I like this one is that, as it says, it summons a shade version of yourself to stay in place and attack an enemy. So every, like, I don't know if it's every enemy or if it's just one enemy, but at least one enemy will get attacked by this ranged shadow image for 18 seconds, and the shade deals 596 magic damage per attack. So it's not that, it's not that big of a deal, but it helps you out a little bit. And but the thing that's good with it is that it reduces the enemy's damage by 15% for 4 seconds. So this is really helpful. And while the shade is summoned, you can activate this ability again to teleport to the shade's location. So that's why I like it. Nothing more to explain, just a basic ability I like to use. Then we have Draining Shot, Scatter Shot Morph. I've seen people use the other version of this ability, like the other morph, where you basically knock back the enemy and yourself. I prefer this one because the only heal we basically have, I'm gonna get to that in a second, is Draining Shot and this one here, Legion Strikes and Rally and Resolving Vigor. I'm gonna come to that in a second, but I like to use this one. Blast an enemy with an explosive arrow, dealing 3.5 physical damage, knocking them back 6 meters and stunning them for 1.5 seconds, right? But it also, after the stun ends, you heal for 6.5k health. This is really good, because then when you have knocked back an enemy, some players have like immunity just at the moment or something, but when you knock back an enemy, this could be really helpful. Say that you're panicking and you see that, oh, my health's getting down. Instead of doing Resolving Vigor or Rally, you use Draining Shot. And why? Well, you use Draining Shot because you CC the people and you knock them back and you get 6.5k health. And that gives you the time, even if you don't have time to use Resolving Vigor or Rally, to get a heal. So that's really good. And at the last ability here, I have Leeching Strikes, Siphoning Strikes Morph. I've tried the other version as well, but that converted into a magic ability, so that was quite, like, I restored magic instead of stamina, because it imbues your weapon with soul-stealing power, causing your light and heavy attacks to heal you. That's good. Sorry. Uh, and fully charged heavy attacks restore twice the value. And you restore up to 4.2 additional stamina when the effect ends, based on the length of time Legion Strikes was active. This is just a buff I like to keep up. I like always have this buff up. This is one of the most important buffs you have on this build. And then I have Ballista with a Rapid Fire Morph. I basically have this just because sometimes if you have Shadow Image and this one up, you can just like, bam, you just nuke them, right? Uh, but yeah, I don't know what to say about it. You can basically read it yourself. 36.400. Oh, sorry. 36,439 physical damage over 5.2 seconds. People shouldn't be able to survive this. And even though I don't use Ballista that much, right? So, on my second bar, I have two-handed. I have Camouflaged Hunter, Expert Hunter move from the Fighter skill. And now, why do I have this one? Well, not only because it has a fucking cool illusion, yeet, but it also has, what is it? It also has this slotted, like while slotted you gain Manor Savagery, increasing your weapon critical rating by 2.1k. And you also gain Minor Berserk for 7 seconds after you deal critical damage from Sneak, increasing your damage down by 8%. Here's the thing. When you use this, you detect stealthed and invisible enemies around you for 5 seconds. And they can't return to that for 3 seconds. So this is really good. Because you gain, because you do get weapon critical rating. You get, you get weapon crit all the time on your two-handed bar for this. And you also, if you're sneaking, gaining increased damage done, right? So this is really good. This is just a buff. This buff, be careful with how much you use it, because this buff is really, really expensive, as you see. It's almost 4k stamina. This buff, only use this if you're in a big group, or if you are like in a 1v1 or 1v2 situation, and you see that somebody goes in stealth, then only use that in that case. And here I have Killer's Blade with Assassin's Blade morph. Not that it's not that expensive. It has 5 meters range. It's instant. Frost a caustic blade with lethal precision to stab an enemy, dealing 2,900 disease damage and deals 300 more damage to enemies below 25% health. And it heals, and it basically heals you for 20% of your max health if the enemy dies within 2 seconds of being struck. I'm gonna tell you why this one is so good, because I'm gonna go for the rotation. Because this is basically like, as I said before in the video, this is basically a go in and go out build. You're basically gonna try to go in, one shot the player, and then go out, right? Um, Nothing more to say about this one. I'm gonna tell you the combination soon. Um, Resolving Vigor, Vigor Morph, classic ability. Um, only good things about this one. As at the same time as it's an AoE, it's a single target. Yeah, nothing more. Here I have Ambush with a teleport strike. Uh, I don't know if people like to use the Medica version, but I prefer this one. Um, and what it does is that I basically jump from a position. I flash through the shadows and ambush an enemy, dealing 3.9k physical damage and stunning them for 2 sec. Also grants you Empower, increasing the damage of your next light attack by 40%. If the target is a player, they are briefly snared instead of being stunned. And now here's the thing. This one is your engage ability. And I'm gonna tell you quick now about Rally. And Rally with a Momentum Morph is your basically just like a buff you always need to keep up because of the healing and the weapon damage. And then I use Incapacitating Strike with a Deathstroke Morph. basically just because of the disease damage and reducing their healing received, right? And you get on, if you have enough ultimate, you can CC them, right? But yeah, as I said, the engage here, like the basic playstyle here, is basically that you use leeching strikes, relentless focus, and always remember now, you do leeching strikes, relentless focus, light attack, poison injection, light attack, rally, ambush, light attack, killer's blade into a incapacitating strike or another killer's blade. And I'm gonna tell you why. So now you have the combo, and if you wanna hear it again, you can basically just replay. You can back forward. But why we have that combo is because we have Celine's the Celine set. And why we have that is because when we deal direct melee damage, we have a 15% chance to call on a primal spirit that mauls the closest enemy in front of you after 1.3 seconds for 13k physical damage. This is, I'm just gonna go really quick back. This is basically stronger than our ultimate. This is stronger than our ultimate, and it's just a little bit slower for the damage duration. But why I like this lean set, and I know the traits, they aren't the best, but I haven't I got the shoulders like 2 days ago and I was so happy. Um, but yeah, we're running this lean set, and that's because even though we might be on the on the bow build from poison injection, or scatter shot, we might get that proc. So I mean, like, that's really good. And so we basically have two executions, right? Um, and then I have the part of the deadly strike shot. I have that on my two-handed. Why is basically because of the weapon damage, as you can see. Okay, I just realized that I have the picture over, so let me just do this. But yeah, I basically have the deadly strike set for the weapon damage and the weapon crit, and the increases the damage your physical bleed and poison and disease damage over time abilities do by 40%. We basically only have physical bleed, poison, and disease damage. Maybe we don't have bleed damage, but we have physical poison and disease damage, so this is really good. This boosts you, since the two-handed bar will be your basically one-shot bar. Uh, then I'm running Leviathan set, uh, just for the maximum stamina and a massive. I know that training trait is quite irritating. But yeah, basically just because of the weapon crit, it's very good, very good. And this will probably be a shocker to most of the people. I have these two. I have the Harmony trait on one necklace. Increases the damage, healing, resource restore, and damage heal strength of synergies you activate by 30%. Um, I don't have summer set actually, so I have no idea if I have this available, like active. But anyway, I have no idea, but I guess I guess these work. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might be a noob to ESO still, but I think this work, even though the gear works out good. I've been going 22 in Battlegrounds, like 20 kills, 2 deaths, and I've been 1v3ing people and stuff. And you shouldn't be able to do that without ring a necklace. So I guess it's pretty good. Uh, the Leviathan set, I think, drops from... Where is it? I think Leviathan set drops from... it's otherwise Darkshade Caverns. No, it's not. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't remember where it drops. And the Deadly Strike set, I actually bought the Deadly Strike set from auction house really cheap. And I bought every Deadly Strike thing I have. So I mean, The Deadly Strike set you can get. The Leviathan set is easy to get as well. It's an easy dungeon. I guess just Google it and you'll find where it drops. And then Celine's. You can get the head from Celine's web, quite of course. And the Celine's arm cups. This depends on which faction you're, which alliance. I thought that it was the same Undaunted chest as it was on Even Not Pact, because I mainly play Even Not Pact, but it wasn't. And that was actually quite good that a friend of mine told me that, because I got this as the first drop when I opened the chest. So yeah, I was quite lucky there that I got it. Uh, but yeah, that's basically like the build. Um, I don't know. Like this is a, I would say that this is an easier build. Um, but at the same time, no, it's not, because you don't have that much survival. Since you only have healings, you don't have much buffs like shields and stuff. I guess you can go with Shadow Cloak if you want to, or Aspect of Terror instead of Shadow Image. But I prefer Shadow Image. I have been trying out Aspect of Terror and Shadow Cloak, but I don't like it. But yeah, so I hope you liked the video, um, and I hope that you, if decides to play the build, I hope you will like it. So thanks for watching and see ya.